Welcome to my channel, Canny Gaming. My name is Mark, and today we continue with part 3 of our series of Vranyoskaya. If you haven't yet seen part 1 and 2, I would recommend that you go back and watch them first. They will explain an awful lot about the problems with this city and why we've been losing lots of people. Many of our citizens haven't been getting fed, and we've had to make a number of improvements to get to this stage. We appear to have most of the problems sorted out by now, but things are still not 100% correct. Today we're going to look particularly at the water system, and we're also going to move towards winter, and we're going to look at the heating system. So let's start where we are looking at some of the supposed fuel line, where we have cisterns that are delivering nothing to our gas stations. Let's get on with the action.
Now let's look at that tanker. Now this tank has got bitumen, and yet he's got an instruction to go and drop off at a gas station. He can't. Nothing will go in there. That's no use. So he is going to go to the depot. I'll send him to the depot, and I'm going to throw away all of his bitumen. It's a waste of money, but, that's, I'm afraid, the way the cookie crumbles, because we shouldn't have picked up bitumen in the first place. Now, there's another one. What have you gone board? You've got oil. Get rid of that. And you as well may as well go to the... Oh, we've got this depot as well as the new one that I've created over here. Right, we've got 2,800 citizens, and we're still dropping in numbers. Why are we still dropping in numbers? I thought we would have fixed it by now, that it would have stabilized. What I'm going to do is, now I'm going to say this building as well, I'm wary about the fact that you're set to have to go to work at other places. I want to make sure that we have absolutely maximum number of people who are available to go and work in that shopping centre. So find your own way to go to work. Because again, one of the problems is we've got lots of people queued up, and we could have more people working here. Same with this building. And now I think one of the other things I'm going to do is manage your workplaces a bit better. So we've got various places where people can work: the university, the hospital, a fire station, and one of them is the prison. Prison actually is here, it's within walking distance. Oh, we've got prisoners. Oh, cool. However, we've got a lot of warders. 50, do we need that? No. I think it's a bit debatable about how many you need. I think people say you need, if you've got 10 prisoners, you need 30. So we'll go with that. I'll drop it down to 30. I've also heard it say if you need 10 prisoners, you need 10 warders. But let's go 3 to 1. So we don't need all of these people working here. Summer, it's not winter. So we probably don't need all these people at the heating plant. But I wanted to prove that we could get them here on the bus. And that's still working. We're still getting people coming to the coal power plant, despite the loss of people in our population. So what are you complaining about now? What is the issue? 3 workers can't work due to sickness, sport, spirituality, culture. Lots of people couldn't visit the hospital. So what have we got here? Not enough doctors. So one of your problems, I think, as well, it could be just unfortunate because of the number of people who've lost. You're right, okay. So you've got instructions on these buildings telling them to go to work at these kindergartens, for instance. And these kindergartens don't have enough people in them to make this worthwhile. So what I can do is I can just say 5 people in each kindergarten. Oh, this one's got nobody. Don't work there. 5. And the reason this is a concern is because the staff in a kindergarten are university educated. You have to be educated to university level to work in a kindergarten, but you also need to have a university degree to be a doctor, and it's the doctors that treat people, not the staff. So we need more doctors here, and we need to reduce the number of people who are waiting for treatment and have more people who are treated. Now, the fire station, can't remember if these are university people or not. I think they are not. However, the fact is, despite the fact you've got lots of fire engines here, I think you have 4 fire trucks. You'll never have 4 fires at the same time. You really do not need 40 people working there. 15 is fine. Now, that might add to your unemployment. Tough luck. University, 12 professors. So they all, of course, are educated people. But we've got lots of students, so it's fine. We've got plenty of people still in our city. We've still got 2,700. 2,702, 2,700. So it's still dropping very, very slightly. Okay, so when I look at this building, we do have a reasonable number. We've only got 3 people who are unable to get food. That's brilliant. So I think we've cracked the food problem. But we've still got 39 who couldn't get meat. And there is meat in the shopping centre. We can see we've had deliveries of food, clothes and electronics because we've got more than the auto purchase amount. So that's good, but we don't have deliveries of meat that are keeping it above the auto purchased amount. So that's a slight concern. It may be that the auto purchase isn't keeping up with the demand for meat. It looks fine when you hover over it. This looks all okay, but I'm just slightly concerned with that. So what I think I would do here then is just say in the distribution office, what I want is this big shopping centre to be not kept at 30%. I want you up at 60%. I want these to be kept very high amounts on the shelves. So there's always food, meat and clothes available to people. Was that just a delivery of meat? Yeah, it was actually. So if I'd waited a few more seconds, meat would have been delivered anyway. And this will force the distribution office to make at least one more delivery. Now we could even improve this by you can add further storage. You can attach a warehouse to this shopping centre so it has plenty more storage to be used. If we go back to this building that we were looking at, we're down to only 1 person who couldn't get food, 29 who couldn't get meat. So we're 2693. You know what? The numbers, 2694. 2693, 2694, 2695. We've cracked it. It's worked. It's fixed. And the reason we're seeing some slight fluctuation up and down is because there is a death rate in this game. People die of natural causes of old age, and babies are born. So this happens day in, day out. A small number of people die. A small number of new babies are born. So we've got all the way down to 2,696, and our population is now stable. And if anything, it now looks, yes, it looks like it's increasing. Now, it'll take a long time to increase up to the levels that we had before. We could purchase in some new people. I wouldn't go and buy in, recruit a couple of thousand new immigrants. I've mentioned the fact that we don't have jobs for all of these people. You run your infrastructure to the absolute limit when you've got that number of people in a city. We have got a far better bus system, but we need it to be even better if we're going to carry around 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 citizens. At the minute, the bus system, the bus platform, and the bus lines that we've got are working. We fixed the problem. We have stopped everyone leaving. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that in a month's time, as the temperature drops to winter, you won't lose some people again. I think it's quite possible that you will. So we really need to make sure that we have lots of food in storage by that time. Your buses will take longer on their routes. We need to make sure that we have the roads are not really, really busy. And look, I haven't quite fixed the problem with this. And again, that's because of you. What are you? You on the Cistern line. I'm going to send you back to the depot. You don't need to be delivering. What have you even got? You've got bitumen as well. You got bitumen. You're not even picking up fuel. So you're not doing anything. What else have we got up at this customs house? I'm going to fix this while we're waiting, see what happens. So we've got 2,704 people. So you are another one. You got oil. And we are going to send you back to the depot, which is there. So when he gets his turn in, he should immediately turn around and leave the customs house, not go and fill up. Are you going to do that? Or are you just going to sit there doing that? So these ones that are there, the dumpers are not, but those covered hulls are a part of our distribution office. So this is another one. This is another tanker that's got full of bitumen. Discard the bitumen and send you to the depot. Right. Okay. So we are nearly fixed with the traffic jam. Yeah. The traffic jam's gone. I think. Yep. Not a single vehicle waiting in the queue outside the customs house. We've got dumpers inside. That's fine. So I'm going to declare that fixed. So our population leaving fixed. Traffic jam fixed. And the other thing I just want to do is, what have we got here? We've got people working there, not many, 2. We've got people working in your water well, 5. So that's about adequate for those 2 buildings. I think I could easily enough get, he has a bus coming down the hill to the water well bus stop. He has full of passengers, but he doesn't have workers. All of our workers are currently when they're getting on buses, are going up the hill to the power plant. But I could get some workers to come down here if I wanted to. But I'm going to take another radical approach. The operative word that I said was to come down here, down this hill, to where we've got the water treatment and the water well. And this is crazy. The first thing is if we look, this has an internal tank of this treatment center of 30 cubic meters, and it's full. And there's only half of the people needed, 5 people working here, 6 people. But what we've got is that we can clearly see that even with only 4 people working here, it can produce enough water, enough clean water, that it doesn't empty. And what that's telling me is that it's producing more water than the city can consume. Now, bear in mind, our city's dropped to 2,712 people, and the more people in the city, the more water is consumed. So if we go back up to 5, 6, 7,000, we might need more water. I'm fairly confident that we've got a solution that can resolve that. This is also the case with the well. So the well needs 7 people and currently has 4. It has a much, much larger internal tank. It can hold 500 cubic meters. If I go underground, you'll see that it has a big tank underneath it to hold all of that water. So it fills that tank up, and even with just a couple of people at work, that tank doesn't run out. Now, I can prove that because I can decrease the workers here and say, I only want 2 people to work here. So as people leave their shift, new people won't come and work here. And let's prove the fact of what happens with only 2 people here. Okay, we've gone down to just 1 person, and it is still producing. Tells you how much it's producing actually. It tells you it's producing around about 21, 22 cubic meters per work day. Right, so if only 1 person is there, it drops to about half of that, somewhere around 9 or 10 cubic meters. With 2 people, it produces somewhere around 19 to 21, 22 cubic meters. So you see the difference. If it had nobody working here, it wouldn't produce any water. And I think that was your original problem, that you sometimes will get no people here, it wasn't producing any water. But on the off chance that we didn't have anyone here for a short period of time, and it's a risk when you only have it set to 2, it's got this great big tank, and the tank would supply the water treatment centre for quite some time, even if nobody turned up for work for days. Now, the point about this is we've got a fairly good way of seeing, because you see how little this tank drops in size with nobody here. So we've got no workers out of 2. The tank is dropping in supply because no new water is being produced. It's 465, 460, 455, 450. It's not too bad. It'll take a while. And now we've got 2 people. No, it's remaining about even. So what you can see is that with 2 people, it'll remain at even. But with less than 2 people, it will drop. So we need about 2 people. So you could do this by saying, I'll have 4 people here, And then if only two or three turn up at any one day, that's fine. That'll work. But the idea is we can get a good idea of how much water this city is using at any one time. And I would say it is around about 20 cubic meters. Why is that important? Well, we've got two options when we go to water. We go to plumbing menu, we go to water, we have wells, we have a vanilla well, small, and a big well. And the one that we're using is the big well. Say the name? Vranyoskaya, big water well. Go back to the plumbing menu and compare the two. And the big water well can produce 215 cubic meters per day. And we only need about 20 to supply this city. So we are producing, or we could produce 10 times as much water as we need. Is there something similar with the water treatment? Water treatment here, we've got an option for a big one, and it can produce 300 cubic meters of water every single day, and the small one can produce 120 cubic meters per day, and we only need 20. So I would say this city can be supplied with a small well and a small water treatment. Now, it's difficult, of course, when you're starting to estimate this and have a good idea. The figures are here, but it's very difficult to know what the citizens are going to use. But we can see in practice that we've got 2,700 people produce more than 20 cubic meters per day. Our tank fills up. When we produce less than 20 cubic meters per day, the tank, it starts to run out. So we can fairly easily estimate we're using about 20 cubic meters per day. So why is this an issue? This works. It works. There's no doubt about that. But what have you had to do to make it work? I've emphasized again and again, this is down the hill, and water flows downhill. It does not flow uphill. What have you had to do to get this to work? You've put in a large pump, a large pump, a large pump. You've put several pumps in this system to have to pump the water uphill. I think you've got another pump somewhere down here as well, a small one. So I think you've got 4 big water pumps here to pump your water around. And you've also got a water underground reservoir here. With that's full, and that's fine to have to give you plenty of supply. But you've had to force your water uphill. And I suspect when you first started, you're having difficulty providing water up the hill to all of these residences because you didn't have enough pumps and you're having struggling to get your water system to work. And the problem that you've had there is that for some reason you've started the system at the water well downhill. And if I put the contours on with an F2, you can actually see that the water well is the lowest building in the whole of this city. There is no lower building than the water well. It's just about on this yellow contour line here that goes through that pylon. The water treatment plant is, there's something like 8 meters between these contours. So the water treatment plant is actually 8 meters or so higher in elevation than the water well. So you've even had to put a pump in just to get the water from the water well to the water treatment plant. And then you've had to put pumps in to get it to where you've stored your water underground somewhere around here. And then you've had to put more pumps in to get it to go all the way up the hill. You can see that from the water treatment plant. This water, is this water substation. That's 16 meters in elevation above the water treatment plant. This school is something like 20 meters above it. Lenin is about 25 meters above the water treatment plant. You're going uphill the whole time here. That makes no sense. So what I would have done is I would have looked at the line of this city. And there's times you cannot get away from having pumps because of the way the land is set out. But here you've got quite a good site. This is a dream for water, and the dream is that you're on a slope, but the slope is the opposite way you've done it. So this is the going up the hill. The customs house is nearly at the top, but we can see with the contours that in fact the top of the hill is just to the right here. It's quite close to your power transformers that bring power into the Republic from over the border. That is the highest place on your city. And it is a nice place where it's not got other buildings around it where we can build a water treatment centre. Sorry, not a water treatment centre, a water well. Now you'll say, yes, but Mark, that's miles away from the city. I mean, I have all the same difficulties now of getting workers to the well. No, we don't. And the reason being is that when we have water wells, the big one needs 7 people to work there. The small one doesn't need anyone. A small water well doesn't need workers. So it really is a benefit a smallish city. You know, you might need a big one in a really big city and where you've got lots of industry that you're also supplying water to, but you don't. And at the minute, this will be fine. Remember, we said that we think that this city requires about 20 cubic meters per day. This small water well produces 70. So you've still got loads of capacity on this. Now I'm going to build it and I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go into time lapse again. Okay, so now we've got a substation and a water well, and look there, that water well's producing water, and there is nobody working there. It needs power only, and it works. And this water, because we've put the water well away from any of the residences and the power plant and all the rest of it, it's nearly pure water. Actually, it's 94% quality. It's really nice water. You could actually feed this to your people, and they wouldn't get sick. There'd be some health effects, slight, but it wouldn't be large. It really only becomes a problem with the water quality if it's down around 90% or something like that, because you've polluted the water by putting farms here or a mine or something like that. Here it will be fine as long as you remember not to build anything on this hill to do it. Anyway, I'm going to go back into time lapse and connect this into our city. Okay, so I've took that water substation out of your system. I've broke it off from the system that's coming up the hill, and I've connected it into my system. I have put a small water treatment plant here. So there is water treatment here. I think you could do without it, but the benefit of the water treatment plant here is, watch, people can walk here. So people can walk here. We're not having to rely on them to get a bus. So it at the edge of the city, but it's only just within walking distance, but it is within walking distance. So that works pretty well. I think I could get the water treatment plant if I needed to. There's enough free space to say put it down here or here. But that worked well next to the road. What I've basically done is I've brought a medium pipe down to the road, and then I'm going to run pipes down your road and off to your water substations. Now, are we going to get people turn up for work here? We still don't have these people set. Oh my God, we've still got these ones set to where they can work and where they can't work. And I don't think I need to force any of them to say it. Please go to the water treatment plant, because there we go. As soon as they're given the option, they know there's jobs available and where the jobs are, so they've gone. Yeah, we got 5 people. So water's being produced, and we've got auto purchase set on the chemicals. What I want to do now is say to the distribution office, I want to put a new location on, and I want to go to the small water treatment, and I want you to deliver chemicals here. Yeah, so it's fine, because it knows the holes will take chemicals, and chemicals was already given as an instruction to pick up from the customs house. So we should get a delivery of chemicals fairly soon here. In fact, are one of these lorries doing it? No. Okay, there'll be another one on its way. In fact, one of them could have been going up the hill to the customs office to pick the chemicals up to bring back to here. I think that's most likely. We have got a water system. Now, at the minute you'll say, well, okay, is this going to supply the whole city? I think it will. And again, I'm going to go into time lapse and prove that. have connected all your water substations up to the well at the top of the hill. Nothing now is being driven from your system. And if I go to the underground and I go to the building properties and water pressure, what we should find is that we have water pressure in these. If I've got it right, so we're getting water coming down the hill there. It's green to the water treatment plant. What's happening here? We've got workers, we've got chemicals. Oh, by the way, we're producing it at far much higher quality than we don't need 99%, don't need 97%, 95 is absolutely fine. So why is it not going? Oh, it looks like I might not have correct. Right, I haven't connected it properly. Let me just go back underground and get that fixed. I see I haven't snapped to the connection point. So I will go, is this a medium pipe? The other thing that you had lots of big pipes, I have not. I've gone for a medium pipe that runs down the centre of the city, and then small pipes other places. The small pipes are perfectly adequate. Again, you can see how much they allow. We were talking about the total consumption of this city being around about 20 cubic meters per day, and a small pipe will hold that. So a small pipe from the water well and through the water treatment centre should actually be fine, but if you used a medium to give us plenty of growth possibility, we can go to nearly 3 times as much production. And then as we go down the hill, as the water spreads out anyway and goes to different substations, it'll never ever be anywhere near 20 cubic meters, even in the small pipes. You don't need to spend the extra money on big pipes. Let me do, there we go, green. Now we've got water pressure across the system. All of the buildings are getting their water from our new system, and it flows all the way down the hill. Yeah, everything has got water, and not a single pump. This is all being done by gravity. Gravity takes it from the water well to the water treatment, and from the water treatment on downwards. And the water treatment now, don't need buses. We're getting people here. 3 or 5 per day is absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever. No people at the water well. So I'm going to go above ground. I'm going to delete. And delete. And now you've got these people. You remember we saw these people right at the start. The first people we were introduced to, the people who lived here. I know it's the same people. It probably isn't. Half of them have probably died and gone away and been replaced by other people. Yeah, I don't recognize any of those names. You know, these buildings are no longer necessary. So we could set all those people to go on. Yeah, please go and live up there. That's fine. You too. You can go and live in those buildings. And I can knock you down now. I'm not mad keen on demolishing things, but you know, I wanted to prove a point. We didn't need this setup that had been arranged down here. We could use a small water well. It doesn't need any people. That would have solved your major problem straight away. We use a small water treatment that then doesn't need as many people. And the water treatment, if we arrange this correctly, can be within walking distance. And we've got more than enough people that we need to do that. Just check. Yes, we've got 5 people working there. So our population has gone up over 2,800 now. As I said, it's slowly increasing. We don't have a problem. We've gone into 24th of October. Wow, okay. While I've been doing the water, autumn has really hit us, and we see the temperatures now 5 degrees C. The grass has gone brown. We're now dropping. So what I want to do is put not the overlay for the water pressure, but the overlay for the interior heating. So the interior heating there needs to be over 20 degrees in the winter, or people start getting sick and start leaving. If it gets below about 14 degrees centigrade, it'll go amber when it goes under 20. And, you know, if it gets below about 12, 14, they'll despair because it'll be so cold. So we have got one single building. Okay. There's a problem. Wow. Right, okay, I'm going to have maybe a quick look at that. But the point is, your water heating is working. We've got nearly full of workers here. That's fine. In fact, of course, we've got a bus stop that's bringing people here. But it is possible for some of your buildings. I'll just check this. Yeah, see, because we're not setting this for where they've got to go to, the people in this nearest building can walk here anyway. And I think even this building, they can walk here. Yeah, they can. So we're getting, this one has all of the settings, the way they've got to go to work. I'll take all that off. Because I'm happy you decide where you got to go to work, because I'm happy that enough people will decide that they're going to go and work in the heating plant. And they'll go to these other places as well. They'll go to the kindergarten and they'll go to the hospital. We'll sort that out. As we get into November, we'll start to get snow. It'll get really cold then. It'll go sub-zero. And as long as we stay mainly in the red, at over 24 degrees centigrade in these buildings, people will be happy enough. When it becomes snowing in about a month's time, then we've got a problem with the roads, and that might mean we don't get the deliveries we need. So let me just go back to the distribution centre, and I'm going to review this. We have 2 covered halls and 1 refrigerated. And I think that's enough, plus the oil tanker. But I've got loads of trucks, so what would I put on? I think I'm going to put another meat wagon in, send him to the distribution office. But my main thing now is what I want to check is your technical services, buildings. Technical services. I think you do have one somewhere in the city. There it is. Oh, okay. And you've got plenty of snow plows. So I hope you got 8 snow plows. Actually, I think my estimate would be that will be absolutely perfect for a city this size. You see, they cover the whole area anyway, and they'll cover the area right way up to the customs. They will cover all the way down that hill to the sewage discharge. Well, nobody goes down that hill to the sewage discharge. So what I'm going to do is can I stop it? I think I can. I think we have in the advanced settings that now came with one of the more recent updates, can we say no snow plows? Yeah. So, which way is it? This way. So no snow plows, please. Don't go down that hill. It's fine. Is there any other roads we want to block off? No, I don't think there is there? Actually, this whole area that was set up for the water well and the water treatment. Can I do it? I don't know if I can. there and there. Don't plough those roads. And I think this will work. If we need to, we can build another technical services somewhere down the hill here and put another set of ones in. Oh, what are these? Okay, you've said, oh, you've already, have I put them at the wrong place? No. That's interesting. You've already put some signposts in. Don't do the snowplow down to the construction office, and don't do it along that road, because that road doesn't really go anywhere. Oh, I know, that road is purely for fire to get to the concert hall and that transformer. Actually, look, you have a problem there. You haven't connected that. You haven't connected that into anywhere, the road. I would have set that power substation to face maybe in this direction so I could get the road in to connect there, but we just put a dirt road in. Dirt roads cost nothing. The fire trucks will use it, because I think a power substation can go on fire. Not every single building can, by the way, but I think a power substation can. So the fire trucks can still get there. Now that's a nice view of your city. I'm going to F12 that and use that as, I might use that as my thumbnail. And at the minute we're just hanging on. I'm going to time lapse it through into November, because I just want, I think, I'll say, Mark, you fix this city. This is all working. It's much, much better set up. We've we fixed the distribution office, big style, not just the mistake that was made of not delivering any food, but we've now got this distribution office working pretty effectively to deliver meat, chemicals, and fuel, as well as food, clothes, and electronics. We fixed the bus lines. We've fixed the bus stop that was inadequate for the number of people. It's still busy, and there's still a question of whether we need more buses in this city. We fixed the shopping. We give them a nice new shopping centre here where they could go within walking distance. So we could guarantee that most people every day will get some food. And if they want to get a bus down the hill, they can. Do people still go down the hill and get food? Yeah, they do. Yeah, so still look, people are buying food down here. So still some people are coming. They come down the hill, they go to something like the restaurant or the cinema, and while they're here, they can get food. So that works pretty well. The bus routes are still bringing them down here. And do they get food here? We've got nobody working here. Right, okay. So we do have a couple of minor problems that I noticed. This one is cold. Let me go back to the overlay, which was interior heating. It's not been reported there, but you see these two shops are below 0 degrees centigrade. So there's no problem being reported here. Or there's not enough cellars, and this one has got no cellars. Now that's not a problem that workers can't get here. We know they can go on the bus and then get here, and they were getting here. The reason is they're not coming here because it's too cold for them. So it's outside of the range. No, it's not outside the range. Look, it's 228 meters from that. There's your heating exchanger, and this is within range of the heating exchanger as well. They're not getting heating. And soon enough, I think all the people in this building will stop working. Why are they not getting heating? There's not enough hot water in that tank. So this heat exchanger can hold 300 cubic meters. It's not overused because it's only needed 45%, but it doesn't have enough hot water in it. Oh, wow. Okay, let me go back, sorry, not to that one, to the overlay and look at the hot water tank. You see the hot water tank that's in the buildings themselves. So what happens is this heats up water to 90 degrees, and then that is fed out to the hot water tanks within the apartment blocks and elsewhere. And when it gets to here, it's only 60 degrees down the hill. Right, okay, it's just not getting any hot water. Why not? Okay, there's a pump here. And it's not getting any hot water. Why not? So this has, we've got a big heating plant here, and I think you could have probably built the city with a small heating plant. Maybe given the number of people that were living in the apartment blocks, the big one is necessary. But it produces a massive amount of hot water, 1,050 cubic meters that it has available, and it's not sending water down the hill. Why not? Is it actually connected? Right. Okay, I'm not absolutely sure that either of those are connected. So we can test that by going heating. I think they're big pipes. There's nothing connected, because if there's a pipe connected to this connection, the connection wouldn't be here in red. So we've got three outputs. We should have an input somewhere. What does this actually look like when it's on the ground? This is I don't know what you've got here. I think this is a small heating pump. So the small heating pump is one of these, and it looks like this with a rod, and it has 3 connections. Okay. In the heating system, which was one of the early things in the game, the connections, despite the fact that they have a sort of arrow on them, are not directional. Heating can come in or out of them. But either way, they are not connected. There is no pipes connected to this heater. So let me just see if I can fix that. Cancel your heating pipes here. And I'll reconnect them now. No. Why not? I'm not absolutely sure that's worked either. Because what I'm not seeing here, will it only work with small? Yes. Okay. This is your problem. You've put big pipes down here. You put big pipes right up to the connection, but it doesn't work. So one of the things to note in this game, watch, when I bring my mouse close to the connection where it'll snap to it, watch the big red arrow. It becomes bigger. I take the mouse away, it becomes smaller. So that tells me when it's big that I'm going to snap here. And when I've got the big pipes, I can't snap. A small heating pump will not take big pipes. So if we want big pipes here, I could delete all your pipes, by the way, but we're going to have to use the larger heating pump, this one. And now you see the difference. that's more clearly visible than you get in some of the other interfaces. Can you see that the big connections have 3 wavy lines, the small ones only have 2 wavy lines? So I'll just drop that in there, and now I'll prove that. If I take the big heating pipe, I can't connect the big heating pipe. See, it's not snapping there. I can place it close up to the building, but it's not snapping. But when I take it to here, see it snap? See the red arrow became bigger? And straight away I get a connection here. So let me just delete that on the other side as well. So this is slightly awkward because I'm going to have to get it up in the air. Can I do it? So I'm going to have to E. Just want to see how that looks like from the side, because I'm going to... How can I get it across the road? Yeah, I can. Build. There we go. Right, okay. Have we got heating now? So why are you not working? You've got power. Right, okay. So what I didn't want water pressure, actually. I wanted the heat in the water tank. So this new one is now 55 degrees. And what we should now find is everything down the hill is getting heated as well. Yes, it is, including those 2 shops that were furthest away from anything. What was happening was some of these buildings, like the university, were able to get the heating. See, they've got more than one heating connection. So they were able to get the heating from this heat exchanger, and they'll get nothing from this heat exchanger. So they were warm enough, but the ones further down that were relying totally on this heat exchanger were getting nothing. So everything's working there. Oh, well, I'm glad I waited for November, because we've solved yet another problem with your city. Tick against heating now working.
I'm cutting the video there now that the heating problem is fixed. You see how difficult it can be to spot these issues, and this game is very unforgiving if you make a mistake. Particularly brutal is the effect of winter if citizens don't get heating. We've covered Vranyoskaya in a lot of detail in 3 parts, and I hope that both the player who shared their city with me and everyone else who has followed this has got something out of it. If you found it useful, then don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'm hoping to produce more content on my channel, Canny Gaming, covering workers and resources Soviet Republic, so subscribe and you'll get notified when that comes out. My channel's Canny Gaming, and my name is Mark, and I'm out of here.